Hey, what's up everybody? This is Rich from Torch Woodworks. I know it's been a minute, but we are back doing videos in the shop. Coming at you with a little bit different video. I know I had a Spartan helmet video that I've already done, but I'm trying a new method to see if it works. So if it's a complete failure, you'll learn along with me, and that's fine. A couple quick things I want to talk about real quick. Really exciting news. We opened up our new Etsy shop that is just for you guys and gals that are woodworkers, flag makers, whatever, CNC newbies, just a bunch of different things on there. It's a little skim right now, but I do have some files on there. I do have stencils that are available for those that don't have a CNC machine, and all my solid unions that I was doing on my old shop, but we're gonna go ahead and transfer it over to this one. It is called Torched CNC Files. It's not just CNC Files, but that's the name of the shop, is Torch CNC Files, and I will put a link in the description of this video. So what we're going to do today, we're going to take this piece of board. I already got it torched up. This is cut, sorry the fly, this is cut to 15 length, and I just left the width the same. It's like 11.25. It's a 1x12. And what we're going to do is we are going to do a multi-phase cut. Now this is specifically for easel. You can do this on the carve, or I'm going to be doing it on my Bobs, obviously. But it's going to be a multi-phase cut where basically I will do 4 different cuts. One's going to be outlining the union, and then I'm going to stain that part and then stain the rest of this red, and then I'm going to have the machine take the stripes out so it leaves the regular white natural stripes out, and then I'm going to switch a bit, and then we're going to carve the stars out, and then the final cut will be actually cutting the Spartan helmet out. It's a little bit different, but I just wanted to try something new, especially if I don't have a bunch of Spartan helmets. I kind of hate just taping and painting just 1 or 2 Spartan helmets. I'd rather just put it on the machine and me do one thing and then let it go. So this is what we're going to work on. First thing, like I said, you'd want to sand it and then torch it. That's ready. I'm going to get this on the machine and then we'll get busy. All right, so first things first, we're going to want to put, obviously, the wood on the CNC machine, but in the right way. So when you are cutting a Spartan helmet or a Punisher skull, you want to make sure the grain is going up and down with the skull or the helmet. The reason being, if you have it going that way, it takes very little pressure to be able to snap it at the thin spots on the Spartan helmets that are right by the ears and the teeth that are on the Punisher skull. It makes it stronger if the grain of the wood is going up and down. So that's what we want to do. So let's get this thing set up. This wood was cupped like this. So instead of flipping it around and having the cup high, we had the cup low, and then we're pushing these down with the clamps that gives us a flat-ish board. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be flatter than what it was. With these Spartan helmets and Punisher skulls, you don't have to be perfect, but it does help if you can get it close. So anyway, so that's that. Let's go ahead and load up the programs and get it started. Alright, so we have the Spartan outline right here. This is the one we're going for. So we're wanting to go ahead and make the carve that's going to outline the union. So the way we want to do it is it's pretty simple. We want to make sure we're on a line, which we're on this line right here. Hopefully you can see. Let me zoom in just a little bit. That way you can see a little bit better. Alright, so I want to put my union line down here simply because it's just easier when I'm setting up the stripes to be on a line. So we're going to click it, make sure it's red. That means it's even. And we're wanting to go to that line right here, 8. So let's make it right. If I could get it right, there we go. Alright, so right there, if we make it a little bit over the Spartan helmet, that's fine. Alright, so what we want to do, and bring this over here so you can see it, we're going to set that line to 0.05, like that. Alright, that's the first thing that we want to do. Alright, so let's go ahead and copy this, Control A, Control C, and we want to make 4 more, can't see it, but 4 more basically projects of the same thing. Let me zoom out. So down here, making you want 4 total, not 4 more, but 4 total. And so what you'll do is you'll copy this thing into all of them. Alright, so on the first one, because the first cut we want to do is just that line. We don't want to cut out the Spartan helmet yet, so we'll delete that. Alright, that left that union mark still there. That's going to be our first cut. So let's go over here. This is the exact same, everything's in the exact same spot as the other one. Alright, so now what we want to do is, because we're using a 1/8 end mill bit, we want to kind of do 2 cuts in a row where it's the same bit, so I'm not having to change it out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the stripes that we're going to be cutting out. Now, the black that you see right here is actually going to be the natural color, because I'm going to be staining it. So whatever you see, so you want to put these stripes where the natural color stripes would be. So we know that first stripe right there equal to the union is red, so we don't want to carve that. So we're going to make our stripes 2 inches wide. So we know we want it right here. So let me zoom back in. Alright, so we know, hopefully it doesn't autofocus the whole time. Looks like it is. Alright, so let me zoom back out just a touch, and maybe it won't auto zoom. Alright, so we want to use the shape tab to get it just right. So this spot is right at 6, so we want to make sure that number is 6, and it's going to line up perfectly with that. And the bottom of this stripe is 10, so we want to make sure this is changed to 10. Alright, so we know now this is perfectly in this area. So let's go ahead and spread it all the way until it gets past that just a little bit. Alright, so let's go ahead and change the cut, and we're going to change it to barely taking off any, so I want 0.02. Alright, now let's go ahead and copy this and paste so we get another one. Or maybe, if it does it right, Control C, Control V. Maybe I can click on it. Control C, Control V. There we go. Alright, actually I don't need another one up there, because as you can see, since our stripe is 2 inches, right here this block is 1 inch, represents 1 inch, and that block is a 1 inch square. So I don't need any above it. So now that's red, so I know this one's going to be natural, so I'm going to have to cut that. So let's Control C, Control V that again. Let's bring it down here as close as possible. I'm going to go back to the shape tab. Alright, this one doesn't really matter on these ones. It's this one that matters. We want it right on 6 so it's even. Alright, and let's stretch it all the way across so it covers everything. There is going to be some wasted carved areas, but there's not really. I'm sure there is a way around it, but I'm not getting into that right now. So we're going to Control C that, Control V to make another one. So we know that one. So that's a 2 inch stripe. This is also going to be a 2 inch stripe. So let's get this one. This one's going to be right at 2. That way we know it's even. And we can bring this in just a little bit, so that we are eliminating some of the brackets. Okay, so that's got our stripes set up. Alright, I know it looks funny over here, but trust me, it should work. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to delete the outline, delete this, because we don't need that to cut again. Alright, that is the second carve we're going to do. Alright, now the third one is going to be stars. Let me go ahead and open, oh, wrong thing, hold on. Go ahead and open up one of my star ones, just so I can get the star, oh, have that loading. Alright, so this is where we're going to want the stars. Now this one, we're going to have to change the bit to a 90-degree V bit, right there. Just ignore all this craziness that's looking right now. I went ahead and got the whole union. Sorry for the autofocus. I do not understand why it's doing it. Let's go ahead and move this, zoom this in just a little bit, because we only need this top portion for this. Alright, let's move this over just a touch so it's center screen. Alright, now we're going to paste the stars that we did. It's going to be all over the thing, but we want to center, or kind of make it so that it's on the edge correctly. Alright, so we know this, and then click off of it. So any of it that's touching that line except that one, can stay, because it may carve some of it. So let's go ahead and get all these, delete those, delete these, this, and then these three right here. I'll leave those just in case. It may be some wasted area. Actually, I may delete that one, because I'm afraid my clamp may be in the way of that one. And that one, really. I'll delete that one too. Okay, so now, zoom out so you can see we got that. So let's go ahead and delete all the points we don't want to carve. So that's going to be that, it's going to be that, and now we're just left with the stars. Alright, so that's our third carve. Our fourth carve is going to be this last one we had. And only thing we're wanting on this one, we got to make sure we got the right bit, 1/8 bit, yep. Let's take this one out, because we don't need this anymore. Click off of it. Alright, delete that, and we'll leave this right here. Alright, so that will be the fourth carve. So what I need to do, and actually I'm gonna have to do something else on the CNC machine, because I forgot to put something underneath the board, and when you do cutouts it's good to have something underneath it. So let me save these to just show you how to do it real quick. I know I've shown in other videos, but I'll do it again. We're gonna hit it. Once you do your project that you're done with, your designing whatever project it is, you hit machine. This is with Bob's CNC and using UGS as the controller. Generate G code, export G code. Let's zoom you out a little bit. Come on, zoom out. There we go. We exported it. Alright, now let's change that one. This one is the, let's make sure we are doing it right. Date. Actually, let's delete all of these just so I'm not getting confused. Alright, rename this. It's going to be Union Line. And I'll put 1/8, just so I know it's a 1/8 bit. Alright, now let's do that with these other ones. Machine, Advanced, Generate G code, Export G. Actually, before I do this one, let me double check the cut settings with this one, because they like to do it really slow. Alright, yeah, so let me change that to 20. I know it's manual, but let's do that at 20. Alright, Advanced, Generate G code. So it's 18-minute carve, Export G code. Alright, let's go back into downloads. Let's delete that one, because that's the one I didn't want. It's the newest one. Alright, stripes. 1/8 for 1/8 bit. Alright. This one, I do want to change the depth of these stars. I don't want them deep. I run my stars 0.25. Some go all the way through, and it gives you great stars too, but I've always had good luck with 0.25. Alright, so we're going to machine, advance, generate G code, export G code. Alright, let's go into downloads, rename this one stars 90 for the 90-degree bit. And then last but not least, let's check the cut settings of this one again. For a cutout, I'm okay with that being 12. And let's see how long it takes. Yeah, it's just 18 minutes, that's fine. Alright, let's change this last one. Is going to be Spartan cutout 1/8. Alright, so we have all those done. So let's go to UGS. I already have it connected, but I'll disconnect it just to show you. Make sure you have the power turned on and the USB cord plugged into your computer. And right here, I know mine's COM4. We're gonna hit connect. You're always gonna get that alarm when you first start. Hit home machine. Let's see if we can get it on there so you can see. All right, it's homing. let's go back to where we were. It wasn't perfect, but it's close enough. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna open it up. We go to where we saved all those, which I think was just in the downloads folder. First one is going to be the union line. We're gonna go upwards. So this is the first one, that's the last one. So let's go union line. Very simple. So let me go ahead and take the board off, put something underneath it, and then we'll get started. All right, so let's get it close to the center point, which is this bottom left corner. Not too far. All right, so now that we got it, that looks good. We're gonna reset to 0. Now raise it up, and now let's check our Z. So let's move this back up to, and we'll do 2. We're going to check a couple different points, but really, actually with this one we really don't need to, because it's just the outline of this. So we're kind of close to where the outline is going to be, so let's go ahead and start lowering it down. Check our, you want it so it just catches this. Alright, so it's just catching it right there. So, alright, so let's go back. That went too far. No, perfect. Alright. Gonna reset. Alright, so now we're ready. I'm gonna go ahead and start the cut. Alright, so that was really short, obviously, because I just had to do this one line. But it marked out where the union needs to be, and the reason that's important, the reason I did this step, is because now I know where to stain. Yes, they're gonna have a line right here separating the union, but I'm not really too worried about that. I want to see how it looks. So I'm going to stain this part blue, this top corner, and the rest of this is going to get stained red. And I'm keeping it on the machine when I do it. Alright, I know it doesn't look like much. One thing I was going to say is I'm not worried about getting stain into these parts right here, which I did down in here, because what I'm actually going to do is rerun this program once everything dries. The red's pretty much dry. Blue's going to take a little bit longer to dry. Once everything's dry, I'm going to rerun this part right here, and then I'll have a clean line again. So anyway, let's see how it turns out, and we'll be back. Alright, so now that it's mostly dry, there's one spot on the blue that's dry. We're not carving on the blue. So what we're going to do now, we're going to hit return to 0. Alright, and because I want it to go slightly deeper, so it gets out any of the stain that got into that little channel, I'm going to lower the Z down by 0.02, sorry. And then we're going to hit reset 0 again. Alright. And then we're going to run it. Alright, so the next thing we want to run is the stripe, so we're going to load that into the computer. We're going to return to 0. Now I want to go. Alright, so we're at 0 again still. So now all we have to do is run it. Now this is an 18-minute carve, so I'm going to do it in time-lapse format, and we'll be back. So this is the result of using an upcut bit, but you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna torch these anyway, and torching it will get rid of most of these that sticks, but it just looks funny. So there's a ton of this crap. But anyway, so let's go ahead and change the bit. Now we're gonna change it to a 90-degree V bit, and we'll get started on the stars. All right, so now we're gonna check the zero, the depth on the zero, and I'm actually going to check it where the stars are going to be. That way we get the most accurate reading. Alright, there we go. So sorry for this fan noise, hopefully it's not too loud. Let's check it one more spot. Pretty good. It's a little bit higher over on this side, but that's okay. Alright, so now let's put it back. We're going to get it back to its spot and we're going to carve out the stars. Alright, we got the stars cut. I decided not to run the V-bit through it because it actually, this stripe right here went up to that perfectly, and this one wasn't the bad one. So once I torch and get all those little fuzzies, I think that's going to be perfect, and plus I didn't want to ruin that edge that I got right here. So I'm just going to run the last one, which is the cutout, and then we should be done the CNC portion of this. Alright, so messed up. Didn't really mess it up, but I forgot when you change from a small bit, like the 90-degree bit, to my 1/8 bit. This one's longer, and so I always have to raise it before I reset the zero to return it. Forgot to do that, jammed into that. Luckily that's not part of it, but now I got to check the depth on this part. Got to make sure I do it in, oh man, I'm all sorts of messing up today. I don't know if you guys caught that or not. Man, what's going on? I'm rusty. Alright, so everything's good. Let's check this depth right here. Alright. Let's try to not break it today. How about that? Now let's try it again. Should be good. Alright, so we got it all the way cut out. You can kind of see that line there. So let me get this thing out, then we're going to torch it, sand it, and hopefully be ready to put some finish on it and see how it turns out. Alright, so I got it sanded down. Now we're going to do the touch-up work. Just kind of wanted to show you what it looked like before I can do it. You can't really see it right now because I haven't torched it, but there is a line right there. I'm going to sand that a little bit more. I'm not sure about this line yet. We'll see how it looks when I'm finished up and see if I like it or not. So all I'm going to do now is torch all around that on the inside here, through there, and then I'm going to hit the white stripes and kind of do my fading that I do, and we'll see how it turns out. Alright, so there she is, all cleaned up. We got it torched. We got it, the torch lines put in pretty good. I kind of want to hit right there, maybe a little bit more, but not bad. The line doesn't bother me as much, since you can kind of see it down below on that side too, so it doesn't really bother me too much. Yeah, so I kind of like it this way. So what I'm going to do with this design, I'm going to put it on, sorry my hands are shaking, I'm going to put it on my Etsy store, Torch CNC Files, or it's etsy.com/shop/torched CNC Files. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this for the next, I don't know, month. I'm going to make this $1, complete with every step, every directions, how you do it with the CNC machine through easel, and you'll have every step on it. We're going to do it for $1 for the next month for all you subscribers. I'm going to give you guys a code. It'll be in the description. Use that code when you check out, and you can be making these bad boys. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate you guys. finally sort of getting caught up. Hopefully after next week we'll be completely caught up, and I will be able to put together my upgrades in the CNC machine. I've had it for about a month. We've just been so busy. Love the Bobs CNC E4, but we got something special. It's still with Bobs that's going to be coming up hopefully soon. Anyway, so let me know what you guys think. Have a good week.